Hey there, fellow palm freaks. It's a beautiful afternoon here in the North Pacific on Salt Spring Island. I just got home about an hour ago. Get out here and do a little live streaming because it is absolutely gorgeous out. So we got some wind coming from the southwest off of the Pacific. It's about 20 degrees Celsius, and humidity is sitting at around 59%, something like that. Yeah, it just got the wind just kind of picked up about an hour ago. It was actually quite calm before that. It's kind of a mixed bag in town today, sort of a mix of sun and cloud, and it wasn't that bad at all. Weather follower, how's it going there, buddy? Get my glasses on here. Southern Ontario palms and tropicals. Doing this a lot now. Gorgeous here in Ontario. Right on. Yeah, I like doing this. It's lots of fun. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here on Salt Spring Island. It was kind of cloudy when I left work, about 8.5 kilometers south of here, and then I got up here and it's beautiful sunshine and blue sky. So yeah, a little bit of a breeze, but it's a warm breeze, and I like the sound of the eucalyptus trees blowing in the wind. They're actually really nice. You can see the palms kind of blowing behind me there. So tomorrow at work, I'm gonna have to move some palm trees. You've probably seen my videos of the palms growing at Rainbow Pool near Ganges, and they have to do some work on the water lines there and install another water line. Of course, I planted those palm trees a decade ago, right exactly where the water line has to go. So thank God we have a mini excavator, and I think what we're going to do is I'm going to relocate them to another park in town. So three palms, actually there's four palms there. One of the small ones I'll just give one of the guys I work with, and the palms are going to come out and put them in the trailer, and they get the whole prepped in another park, and we're going to stick them in this park in behind one of the churches in town. There's some there is palms in that neighborhood. In front of one of the dry cleaners, there's a palm tree, and in front of the wellness center, there's a couple of big cordy lines, so they should do well there. South Ontario palms, just finally put my tropical palms outside by the pool today. You gotta like that. Sweet. So you got some warm weather happening right on. You gotta like warm weather, and you have to love palm trees around a pool because a palmy pool is much better than one without palms. I can't imagine a pool with Alberta spruce around it or Colorado blue spruce. That just doesn't cut it, man. You have to have palm trees around a pool around a pool. It makes it look so much nicer, and gives you that kind of that tropical flair, right? Almost makes you feel warmer too. Even if it's not that warm out and you look outside and you see palm trees around a pool, you're going to feel just a little bit warmer. It's kind of like these palms behind me. You know what I mean? On a winter day, we look out of our kitchen. That's our kitchen window there. And then there's more windows along the side of the house, and you look out, and all you see is palm trees. It's really nice on a winter day. It makes a pool look amazing. It does. It absolutely does. There's some nice pools around here with palm trees around them. I can think of one in particular in North Van. Rudy Pankowski, past president of the Palm Society. I think he planted those suckers back in 1986. They are towering, and they're all around his pool, and they look absolutely spectacular. If I had a pool, yeah, I'd put palm trees around it. But we live across street from the ocean, so that's our swimming pool here is the ocean, and there's a lot of lakes on Salt Spring Island. So, yeah, no need for a pool here, but a lot of people do have pools, but not don't need one here in our garden. It'd take up room for more palms, put it that way. But I bet you it feels nice on a hot summer day to dip into that pool there. How far are you from the lake? Are you quite far from the lake, or are you close to the lake? People can't believe I have palms in Ontario. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's not a lot of people that do it. I know a few people, a handful of people in Ontario that grow palms. There's Scotty, there's James, and there's a few other guys. There's Mark Ladouceur in Ottawa, a few other guys. I mean, I've shipped a lot of seeds to Ontario over the years, and I know they do need protection in the wintertime. You got to box them in and use some heat, just like good old Coconut Mike in Montreal. And then there's another guy in Montreal that grows palms as well, and he does them for clients and he boxes them in. Yeah, and yourself, yes, and yourself. Yeah, you're growing palms. Well, if I lived in Ontario, I would be pushing it to definitely grow lots of palm trees. It just is it's a lot more work, but it's definitely rewarding. Good. YouTube is slowly picking up. You got to like that. You got YouTube's a lot of fun. Wendy does YouTube as well. My wife has a YouTube channel, and it's good when the subs go up every day. Like every day, her subscribers are going up. Every day, my subs go up. And you know, if they don't, it's no big deal. I still enjoy making videos. And I started this channel beginning of July 2010. But my other one, my original one, I started around 2008. And then I have three YouTube channels, by the way. And so I've been shooting videos every day for, at least 12 years. So since I started my first YouTube channel, I haven't missed a day. And on this one for the last decade, every year. Love your content. Such an awesome. Hey, thanks, JP. You're awesome too. And so, JP, you are in the Razorback state. I got a buddy that lives in the Razorback state. That's Austin. I have a cousin that lives in New Mexico. He lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he actually moved there from Hawaii. Unfortunately, my cousin Donnie's not doing too well. Last I heard from my uncle, I talked to my uncle a few weeks ago on the phone. My cousin does have cancer, unfortunately. He's a couple of years older than me, and he has big greenhouses down there, and he grows a lot of neat stuff. I don't think he's into palms or anything, but I think he's more into veggies and stuff like that. But JP, you got the heat down there in the Razorback state, and you're going to have a lot of heat in New Mexico too. They grow some actually really nice palms in New Mexico. Truth or Consequences, Alamogordo, New Mexico, and I've seen them in other places. Some big Flifera, and you probably grow some Camarops down there too, and some Trackies. I've had seeds sent to me from New Mexico. Okay, who else do we have in here? Tropical Ontario. It's about the fun, enjoyment, education, and passion, not the money. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Once you get enough subscribers on YouTube, you will be asked by YouTube if you want to get, you want to apply for AdSense, and then you become monetized. And once you have 4,000 watch minutes a month or over 1,000 subs, you can potentially make some coin. But you definitely have to get a lot of views, on your videos to get the coin coming in. JPR property is 20 minutes from Albuquerque. Can't wait to live there. That is sweet. Well, they get a lot of sun down there, and I think you're going to like that climate down there, JP, because it's dry. Okay, so where you are in Arkansas is very humid. I want to tell you something, JP. I think it's Jaylene. On the southwest corner of Arkansas and Warren City, Arkansas, there are native sable miner. I don't know if you know that or not. There are native sable miner palms there. I have a lot of them here. I've grown hundreds of them from seed, so I got a lot of Razorback sable miner here. I also have a bunch of Razorback Trackies growing as well. Yes, you're from Toronto. I lived there for 10 years, immigrating. Oh, cool. Right on. My oldest son lived in southern Texas for a while, and he married a girl down there, down in Westlaco, just west of Brownsville. And then she came up here. And she's still in Victoria. That was January 2012. He brought her up here. And she's still living up there. They're not together anymore, but they're still friends. But she lives in Victoria, and he lives up island on the Big Island, I think, in the New Spain, Nanaimo. Weather follower sitting here, get well soon. Yeah, hopefully he's going to be okay. I don't know. I didn't get into the details of it, but yeah, apparently he's not doing the greatest. Good move, though, JP. Very good move. I love my waggy palms, Rocky Clemens. Well, I just uploaded some pictures today on People Who Love Palm Trees of a male waggy in bloom along the boardwalk there. So once the flowers are a little bit bigger and open more, I'm going to cut some flowers off and take it to a private garden, and I'm going to dust a big female waggy with it. There's another male waggy in the same garden, but it's quite a ways away, so the pollination isn't the greatest. So then maybe we'll get more 100% true seeds on that female waggy. I'm back, palm tree dude. Right on, palm tree dude. Palm tree sable miner will grow throughout all of the southern third of Arkansas. They will, yes, they will. They are native to a lot of the southeastern states. You want to know something? Sable miner is one of my favorite palms. I know most people like the big pinnate species, like coconut palms and all that stuff. I like fan palms, and I like small fan palms. I like Razorback. I like Razorback sable miner, and I like Warren. And I like McCurtain sable miner from Oklahoma, and I also like Rhopatophyllum hystrix. I think those are my two favorite really cold hardy palms for sure. I just love them. I wish they would grow really big here, and maybe one day we'll see that in my lifetime. I've got a lot of them in the garden, and they're very slow growing this far north. Let's see. Palm tree dude say, yep. So anyway, JP, that's good to know that you're going to be moving to New Mexico. I think you're going to have a great garden there. Make sure to post pictures of it. I know that's in probably another, I think you said 5 years. When you do get to New Mexico, make sure to post pictures of your palms and exotica. Weather follower, you've a lot of subs this year. Yeah, basically every about 28 days, because I look at the analytics, I'm usually getting about 1,300 to 1,400 subs a month on this channel. My other channel's got about, I think, close to 4,900 subs. And then I have another channel. It has a lot of subs on it. I think it's got about 650, maybe 700 subs, something like that. Yeah, the other channel I have is actually connected to this channel. It's Jungle Joe C. So if you want to see more palmy videos, go over to Jungle Joe C. There's a lot of other content on there as well. Do you grow yucca? Oh God, JP. Yes, we have so much yucca in our garden. It's not even funny. We have actually I uploaded a video yesterday on this channel, and you can check it out. And I titled it "The Most Marginal Plant We Grow Here in Our Garden in the North Pacific." It's Yucca gigantea, you know, and that one I planted in June 2007. It's a pretty nice sized plant. We have Yucca gloriosa, a lot of them. Wendy's got a Yucca filamentosa variegated one she's put in there. She's planted a lot of Yucca gloriosa variegated. Yeah, those ones don't like the rain very much in the winter for some reason, right? It's I don't know what it is. They get spots on them.
They do better under where they're protected.
Yeah, under the trees. The regular green form are fine. Lots of recurvifolia. What do you got there?
I think that was your. Just,
Chuck in the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I was just talking to Wendy. Yeah, we have a lot of yuccas in the garden. How many yuccas do we have? Maybe 50? We probably have about 50 yuccas on our property, JP. I wish I could get that amount. Yeah, you will, weather follower. It takes time. Wendy's got, how many subscribers do you have on your channel? About 2,300? I think Wendy's got about 2,300, something like that.
A little over 23.
Yeah, I mean, she gets paid for her videos. I mean, she does okay. She's not going to get rich on it, but she likes making videos.
I'm an amateur.
Check out Wendy's. I got Wendy into YouTube, okay? My youngest son is big time into YouTube, and he does music videos, but his old YouTube channel, he just did random stuff when he was like probably 10 years old, 10 years old. Now he's going to be 20, and he's been making videos for probably 10 years now, but he does a lot of music videos on his YouTube channel. Well, check out. I love yucca. They grow all over New Mexico. Yeah. You know, you should be growing, Jaylene. You should be growing yucca elata. You should be growing yucca rostrata. And you could also grow yucca brevifolia, which is yucca brevifolia is Joshua tree. If a lot of people don't know that, yucca brevifolia is a Joshua tree. So you can try that too. JB, do you like any cactus? Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of cactus. We have a cactus patch here. And I'll tell you something, Jaylene, we actually have native cactus on Salt Spring Island. We have Opuntia fragilis that grows on southwest slopes near the ocean. And we also have a lot of succulents here, native succulents. So the climate here is a Mediterranean type climate. So long, dry, warm summers and cool, wet winters, but no extremes. Yeah, I like Opuntia, prickly pear. Yeah. Produce awesome fruit for jam. Yeah, they do actually produce some fruit here too. I've never had it in our garden, but in hotter areas of Salt Spring Island, you will get some fruit. If you go to this channel and you search out in the search engine on my channel, cactus on Salt Spring Island, you can see some of the cactus here. A few years ago, a buddy of mine had a nice agave in bloom, a really nice agave. So I got a video of that too. Whether for the enjoyment of creating vids and helping. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about to me. I don't really care about the money. I just like making videos, and then people can learn from it, you know. And if I'm making a mistake, none of my stuff is edited. Okay, it's all raw and unedited. Wendy's a lot better at making videos. She edits her stuff, and so I mean, if I screw up, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? And you can tell me. You can leave a comment below if you don't like the video. Give me a thumbs down. Hey Joe, how's it? Yeah, Eric, it's doing good here, man. It's a little breezy out and about 70 degrees Fahrenheit here. So, but you can see the palms kind of blowing in the wind there. It's absolutely beautiful day. It is 4:28 p.m. Pacific time here on our island. It's a great day. I had a really good day at work, and tomorrow looks like we're going to be moving some palm trees at work. So hopefully I'll get a video of that too. You'll find palm tree, you'll find eastern prickly pear here, but they seem to only grow naturally in specific spots. Yeah, there's a native prickly pear in Tennessee. I know even in Canada, in eastern Canada, I think Ontario has prickly pear. And some of that stuff is pretty cold hardy. Awesome, JP. Please keep up posting content. This all historical archive for future humans. Well, that's the way I look at it too. I shoot videos every day, okay? And you know I got a lot of videos on here. I think this channel has more than 13,200 videos on it. And it is, to me, it's just archiving history. And that's why I take pictures and shoot videos, because one day somebody can look back on the videos and they can see something they like or they remember, right? I even shoot videos of people here that have long passed away. And somebody say, hey, do you have any videos? Yeah, I got a video of him. You know, so I got videos of lots of the island characters here. We had 24 degrees today. About time. That's good. 24 degrees is good. Um, this is about normal here for us. I have seen 28-degree days in May. I really don't want them. I don't really want it much warmer than this when I work because I have to work outside. And the guys I work with and myself, we don't want it much warmer than 20 degrees Celsius. When I'm not working, it can be warmer than 20 degrees Celsius, but 20 is good enough for me. I'm comfortable. Humidity's low, and I feel really good right now. Let's just see. What else do we have here? We have a lot of people in here, and I'm liking this. I thank you for watching, you guys. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your comments. And if you don't like something I upload, you can tell me. My feelings don't get hurt. I don't get offended by anything. Okay, so if you don't like a video and you find it crappy, you tell me it's crappy, and we'll try to improve it the next time we shoot one. JP, is cannabis a good growing partner for? Absolutely, we grow a lot of cannabis. I'm gonna grab a cannabis plant for you right now. Okay. All right, so there's some cannabis right there. It's just starting out, right? So, hey, Wendy, what's the strain on this one? I know you got some Hawaiian growing.
Well, that one's these are the Hawaiian in here.
Okay, Wendy's got some growing. Anyway, Hawaiian. There's a bunch of different strains. Anyway, here you go. So cannabis work really well with palm trees. I'm going to put some down in the garden. Had some big plants last year, chopped them back, and make tea out of it. I'm kind of an insomnia type guy, and pot at night helps relax me. As you can see, I'm a pretty cranked up guy, and a little bit of pot in my nettle tea keeps me nice and calm. And Wendy likes that. Often Wendy's got to go like this when I'm talking to shut me up. Got to keep her down. Or a brownie. See, Wendy makes brownies, but I don't know about the brownies, man. They're a little bit.
You just need the one the size of your thumb.
Yeah. They're a bit hardcore for me, man. Yeah. But anyway, Jaylene, yeah, it'll work good with palms because it is a tropical plant for sure, and it's absolutely beautiful plant. Palm tree dude, we had constant rain. Some of the tropical storm had passed through the. Wow. Well, you know what? Tropical rain is good, and rain anytime from spring through summer here and into fall, into early fall is absolutely a welcome relief. I love rain, and this time of the year we really don't get a lot of it. So you can really see what it does here day to day by watching my videos. Some people think, in the East, all it does is rain here. Well, watch my videos, and you watch my videos, and they're uploaded every single day. You'll see what the weather's like here, and you'll see how little it actually rains here on Salt Spring Island. All right, so it rains more in the wintertime. That's when we get our precipitation, a lot of it. Yeah, that's cool, JP. You are growing some cannabis sativa. There's indica, and there's lots of different strains. I'll tell you what. I've been growing this stuff since 1978. And I got a handful of seeds from my dad when I was 14 years old. He was a body man car painter, used to work with some rough biker type dudes. And I gave my dad a handful of seeds. He brought them to me. And he says, Joey, you grow these, but don't smoke them. So I grew some pretty amazing pot plants, and I've been growing them ever since. JP, I burned my Majesty palms about 2 months ago. Did you burn 90%? Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? If you've had them inside, and that's like if you buy a palm from Home Depot or Lowe's or Walmart and it's been sitting in the store and you put it out in the full sun, most likely it's going to fry the fronds. You got to acclimatize it, gradually move it out and expose it to more sunlight so you don't fry the fronds. And also frost will fry them. Ravinia rivularis. I tried some outside. I had some beautiful ones in pots inside. They're absolutely useless for me. And the cold got them and they froze. That was a couple years ago. I do have videos of them here, and they're not a good palm for this area. Southern California, they're great. I got videos of them. Last time I was in California was 2008, and I shot some YouTube videos of them growing at Pacific Coast Plaza in Costa Mesa. There were some beautiful Majesty palms there. I was actually shooting my kid skateboarding. He was grinding off a railing, which he shouldn't have been doing. But there were some palms there, so then I shot a video of the palms as well. Your dad sounds awesome. Yeah, my dad was a good guy. He passed away May 22nd, I think it was, 2016. He was 82, and he was a cool dude. He used to ride motorbikes, so I grew up with motorcycles. Dad was always into motorcycles. He rode them all, Harleys, everything, right? So, yeah, Dad was a super cool dude, and he was a character, that's for sure. I think you like to talk more than me, which is hard to believe. Kencha, palms. They're looking good now, JP. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. They are beautiful palms. Kencha palms would look okay on your. Oh yeah, we have Kencha palms. we have two kenja palms, and I got them from my ex's. Well, when I was married to somebody else, my father-in-law gave them to us. It would have been 1997, I think I got them when they were quite a bit smaller, and I still have them. And they stay out most of the year. We only put them in for a couple of months every year, and then we bring them back out. And they look really good. So they're sitting down in the front garden in about a 20-gallon pot, and they are a slow grower, Kencha. They're a nice palm for California, Northern California. They work good as far north, probably San Francisco, and I bet you they'd probably even work good on the southern Oregon coast down in Brookings. They are really a tropical-looking palm, and there's been 2 winters since I've had that palm that I actually kept it outside. It didn't get much lower than 32 degrees Fahrenheit those winters. I think it dropped down to like 31 or something for a brief period. It's like this patio umbrella is ready to frickin' fly away. And anyway, yeah, so it was outside. I put it close to the house. You see that palm right there? There's more palms around the corner of the house, all down the side of the house. So I had the Kencha palm up against the house there. Very mild up here. You don't often see frost in here. JP, do you have a greenhouse or do you bring them into your home? No, I don't bring them into the home. I have a basement. We have a basement, and the basement basically is rock. Our house is on a big rock, and in there it's very cool. It probably doesn't get any warmer than 50 degrees, so 10 degrees Celsius, and I just shove them in there. And I put the bird of paradise in there, and the citrus that are in pots I put in there, and then I bring them back out. So they're out most of the year, and just a couple of months they're inside. Palm tree dude, have you ever heard of sable minor Kong? Nope, never heard of that one. Kongari. Kongari. Nope, never heard of that one. Huh, cool. Where is that from? Do you have lights in the basement, JP? Yeah, we have just LED lights. They're like they look like 100-watt light bulbs, but they're LED, so they're not using much juice. They're not giving off any heat, and I just keep those on, and they're fine. All the stuff does well in there. Even the orchids, I put. We have 2 Cymbidium orchids. I put those in there with the palms and the other potted stuff, and yeah, bring them back out, and they're doing fine. One of our Cymbidiums has flowers on it. What's that?
Oh, our gardenia.
Gardenia. We have gardenias. There's actually gardenias here. These are gardenia Klein's Hardy.
These ones do well.
Yeah, the jasminoide is a really finicky plant, like super acidic soil. So Wendy scooped a couple of those at, where'd you buy them from? Oh, she bought them at Home Debit. I like to call it.
They were this kind.
Yeah, she thought they were Klein's Hardy or Chuck Hayes. They were wrong. They're a finicky little thing. So one croaked, dried out, and the other one's in the greenhouse. Have you tried eucalyptus cider oxalon? GD Gardens. Yeah, no, I may have tried that one. I know the species. I've tried a lot of eucalyptus over the last 35 years. And actually, I was just out shooting a video when the wind was blowing through our 100-footers there, and they sound really nice. JP, I'm growing 2 Phoenix Robelinii, 2 Majesty. Right on. You are a palm freak, Jaylene. So, JP, does your husband like palms, or is it just you? Do you have Robelinii? I've tried them. I've grown them in the past, JP. When I lived on the mainland, I don't think I've ever grown Phoenix Robelinii while I've lived here, and I've lived here just about 3 decades now. And I've grown them before on the mainland, and I had them inside, and they were really susceptible to spider mites. I'll tell you something interesting. I pick up a bunch of date palm seed in Hawaii, and somebody posted a picture on my in my group, people who love palm trees, of a date palm, and they said it was a hybrid, Sylvestris cross Robelinii. I think that's what it was. And I'm looking at mine, and I was thinking mine were Phoenix canariensis, but they're not. I believe they are a hybrid palm, and they're doing really well. Yeah, JP, if you're growing Phoenix Robelinii, the date palm, pygmy date palm, be sure to mist the fronds. In dry heat, they're susceptible to spider mites indoors. JP, that's my project. He's into ultra energy. Oh, cool. Well, that's good. Right on. Well, there's a lot of people on our island like that. Okay, I'm going to tell you something about Salt Spring Island. We live on the very northern tip of Salt Spring Island. Salt Spring Island is very narrow, and then it gets very wide at the bottom. And it used to be divided by 2 phone numbers, right? 537 on the north end, and then there's a line, and anything south of that is 653. 653, we say where all the hippies live and off the gridders, right? So there's a lot of off the gridders here on Salt Spring Island. And actually, there's a lot of off the gridders here and the north end too with solar panels. They're not probably 100% entirely off the grid, but they're into solar, they're into wind power, and any other type of power that's not going to be sucking energy from a power plant, right? So there's a lot of that here in Salt Spring. Self-sustainable, I think that's what you call it. GD Gardens, have you ever tried Trachycarpus nanus? Yeah, I've grown a lot of those from seed, and it was our poor, dry, rocky soil. They were small, really small. I sold a bunch of them, so there's some of them around somewhere, and ours petered out. They just dried up in the summertime. It's probably when I used to go away a lot in the summer to Hawaii with my ex-wife. She always liked to go away in the summer months. And with my new wife, Wendy, we've been together 8 years now. She likes to go away in the wintertime, which is cool. So in the wintertime, things don't dry out because we get the winter rain. In the summertime, when I went away, I'd have a lot of sick or dead plants when I'd come back. And unfortunately, Nanus was one of the dead plants. And so was my, you know what else I grew outside for just about 5 years was Rhapis excelsa. I grew it right under the sun deck I'm sitting on. I'm actually sitting on a lanai out here. And underneath the sun deck up against the house, I grew Rhapis excelsa, and it did quite well. But it also dried out because I wasn't here to water it. That's my project. Good for you, JP. That is awesome. Common hobbies are virtual reality. You know what? That sounds, JP, you'd get along good with Wendy's daughter. She's so into that, Krista. She's, I will say, very earthy. I'm going to say hippie. And she likes that stuff. And she's into crystals and all that trance type music. And she does make music as well. And she does tarot readings. She's big time into the tarot readings. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's pretty cool. And if that's your hobby, that's a good hobby because there's a lot worse hobbies than that. And I know you like to grow palms, and that's a good hobby too. Get your husband into palms. GD Gardens, have you ever tried Trachycarpus? Yes, I have. Palms, I bought some seeds called Trachycarpus Fortunae 360. Yes, we have those. And the photo here was a blue silver, just some sales gimmick. No, I think that's called Winson. And Winson, they say, has a silver beneath the fronds. Okay, we have a Winson in our garden. I planted it. I guess it was about 17 years ago. It's got 360 fronds, but it's not silver underneath the on the bottoms of the fronds. I also had a bunch of Winson seeds sent to me. They say from True Winson, Trachycarpus Fortunae Winson. So 360 frond. Here's your petiole, and then the frond extends right around the petiole. So if you look at most Trachycarpus Fortunae, I'll go over here and I'll show you. So you can see me there. See, so it stops here, right? This one here, that's a regular Trachycarpus Fortunae. A Winson goes right around, and the fronds extend right back to the petiole. So it's a circle. It's a complete circle. This is just a regular T Fortuna. I grew these from seed. So we're going to see what these Winson are like when they start to grow frond leaves on them. Right now, they're just strap like leaves in the greenhouse. We have a couple of flats of them. What else do we have here? Palm tree dude. Sable miner con Gary is from the Congaree National Park by South Carolina. I do have Sable Miner from South Carolina, but I don't know if I have that one. Well, it looks like everybody out there are real palm nuts, and that's a good thing. I don't know what got you guys into growing palms. Why are people hooked on palm trees? I'm curious. I started at a very young age, about 5 or 6 years old, and I've always loved palm trees. I've always been infatuated by palm trees. It's like I say, I got palm oil running through my veins. And there's nothing wrong with palms. I know there's a lot of people that can't stand them. They think they're ugly, but folks, how can you say that's ugly? Those are awesome. Look at these things. You know, a palm tree in the wintertime looks absolutely beautiful. A deciduous tree that loses its leaves makes me feel cold and it looks like it's dead. Visiting Myrtle Beach as really as a little kid. Cool. My sable miner is starting to slow down the fourth frond. Wow. We got one frond opening right now in our sable miners. We have sable Louisiana in the garden. We have a lot of different eco-type sable miners growing in our garden. Okay, and I do have one from McCurtain County in the garden that I planted years ago. Unfortunately, it's so shaded, and I'm afraid to move it. It's probably going to die. They don't like to be transplanted. JP, evergreen trees make me feel cold. I'm with you. Yeah. Especially spruce and short needle pines. Now, our island is evergreen. You see, so you look around. It is green here year round. But we have broadleaf evergreens. You see that tree right there? That is a broadleaf evergreen. That's and I pointed it before when I'm doing the live streams. There we go, right there. That is a Pacific madrona tree, and that is a arbutus tree, and it keeps us round, rubbery, tropical-looking leaves year round. And the bark on it peels like a eucalyptus, which is really cool. A lot of people think they're related to eucalyptus. It's got red bark, and it peels off in sheets. Yeah, and palm trees always make me feel warm. When you look out on a winter day and you look at a palm tree, it just is so much nicer to see a palm tree. Palms used to live in a really cold area. I always loved seeing them on vacation. Yeah, right on. Yeah, that's like me too. As my aunt sending me postcards from Hawaii, and I was hooked. Does altitude affect palms drastically? Oh yeah, oh yeah. 5,000 foot's pretty high. Um, Boy, oh boy. Well, you know what? Good luck and try something up there. I would try some sable minor. I would try some needle palms, and I definitely try get some seed from somewhere else in New Mexico, and get some Washingtonia fliffera seed or filibusta seed and try some up there. Fliffera JP is hardier than robusta. Okay, robusta is a nice looking palm, but fliffera is much more cold hardy. A fliffera crossed with a robusta is a filibusta. So get some seeds from somewhere else in New Mexico. Go online and try to find some from Alamogordo, try to find some from St. George, Utah, or Truth or Consequences, or somewhere else at a higher elevation. And those ones may work at 5,000 foot. And 5,000 foot could probably get pretty cold. Look at your weather records in that area and just see what the minimums are. And it's not so much a 10 degrees Fahrenheit minimum, it's the length of the freeze, right? That's what you got to look at. Southern pine species make me feel warm. Well, I like long needle pines, palm tree, dude. We have a Mexican long needle pine. It's got needles on it that long. I lived in the Caroline and one. Brian Bartol. I lived in the Caroline zone in Ontario. Lots of plants. Lots of plants. Nowhere else in Canada. Kept pushing the envelope until like, sweet, good for you. That's where pawpaw trees grow. Pawpaw trees grow, I think, in southern Ontario. They're native to there. They're also native to lots of places in the southeastern states too. Good evening, forest, food forest permaculture. Good evening. GDR, I got my first palm when I was 3. Right on. Boy, that's a real young age. You beat me out. I was 5 or 6. Or sorry, I wasn't 5 or 6. That's when I got my first postcard. I was 6 years old when I got my first tropical plant. It wasn't until later in life I got palms. Let's just see. I want to buy seeds from you. Your plants are cool. Yeah, we ship a lot of seeds. I've shipped tons of seeds to Arkansas. I've shipped them to every state in the U.S. Shipped pretty much every province in Canada. I don't think I've shipped them to the territories yet, and lots of countries. So just PM me on Facebook, and if you want, hit me up as a friend on Facebook, and you can PM me there, and we'll get you some seeds. There are a seller on eBay that filibusta Bend, Oregon. Cool. I've been to Bend, Oregon. Oh no, Bend, Oregon's inland. I've been down the coast. Bend's farther inland. That gets colder there. Yeah, they're good up here. I mean, JP, you got to remember our latitude is 48 degrees north latitude, so I'm probably more north than anybody on this message board. I bet, unless you get to somebody in Ireland or Scotland and parts of the UK, which are actually Zone 9B over there. A lot of areas, right? Believe it or not, sassafras, cucumber trees. Yeah, sassafras is one I want to try here. We have a pawpaw, and sassafras I've always wanted to try. I remember drinking the tea when I was a little kid with my dad. Went over to his hippie buddy's house in Vancouver, and I remember trying sassafras tea. It's made from the bark, I believe. Palm tree, dude. I know they can look scrubby, but I love southern pines. They grow in the Caribbean. Cool. We have a native pines here called shore pine on our island, but they only grow at high elevations, and that's where you actually start to see the Arctostaphylos columbiniana, which is a broadleaf evergreen tree, a small tree called a manzanita, and they grow here on Salt Spring Island in the southern Gulf Islands. Cheers, fellow Earthlings! Food, forest, permaculture. You gotta like that. That's a pretty cool name. So yeah, um, palms I got into when I was in. Let's see, when did I start growing palms? I guess maybe late teens, maybe 20. I started growing palms, something like that. I've always liked them though since I was a kid. I've always grown lots of exotic plants before that. I was growing bamboo, monkey puzzle trees, yuccas, and things like that. But the palms came in after I already had an exotic garden. I says, palms grow here. This is great. So let's load up the garden with palms. When I found out palms could grow here, I went absolutely ballistic on it. Okay. And I told you guys the story. I bought all the wrong palms. I went to the nursery with dad's truck, loaded it up with Washingtonia Robusta, and they all died the first winter. I looked like a fool to my neighbors, but you know what? I corrected things the next year. I got the right palms. Tropical storm Arthur. Bend is high desert. Yeah, Ryan, it gets cold there for sure. Dylan, tropical storm Arthur is hitting Ireland on Friday. Ooh, that's not good. Apparently, there's some big typhoon going to hit parts of India and I don't know if it's Bangladesh or somewhere over there. Not good. Not good at all. It's windy here, but it's definitely not hurricane force winds. And there's a cloud that's just covered up that sun right now. And it gets cool when the cloud goes over that sun. I remember you talking about some island you think palms would grow on. Well, I always thought of Sable Island off the coast of Nova Scotia. I've always had a dream of planting palms out there, and I still dream about it. Sable Island, look it up. Sable Island, Nova Scotia, Zone 8A. JP, palm trees used to grow in the Arctic. Absolutely. During the Jurassic period, the planet was much warmer, and scientists found palm fossils in northern. Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, Jaylene, there are palm fossils here on Salt Spring, and about 15 years ago or so, it could have been maybe 17 years ago, when they were excavating the island highway in Nanaimo, you should have seen the palm fossils they unearthed. They unearthed a whole palm tree. And some of my buddies in the Palm Society scooped some of those fossils. And at one of the meetings, they were distributing them out to people. And of course, that was the meeting that I missed. They had a meeting in Victoria and they were handing out palm fossils, and I did not get any palm fossils. So I snoozed and I lose. But they were a pinnate species. The ones here are fan palms, and they're growing in Ganges right along a rock face wall of sandstone. And the geologist that found them years ago, he's passed away. He told me they were between 70 and 80 million years old. And that rock was once laying flat and then it was pushed up. And the funny thing is about it, I have videos of it, and you can see the palm trees now growing in front of those palm fossils. There are palm trees that actually grow there, lots of them. Trachycarpus palms. Food forest primer, you might likely soil, like soil video that went up today, pathway soil bank. Okay, cool. You might. I'll try. I'll check it out. I like anything to do with gardening. I like food gardening. I like all plants. I just happen to like palms and exotics more than the other ones. I don't destroy native plants. We have a property here full of native plants. We just add the exotica with the native plants. They all grow good together. We have a lot of broadleaf evergreen native plants, which are quite nice. Salal, Mahonia, the ferns here are evergreen. And so I look down at that forest floor and it's very green year round. So when you got palms sticking out of those, it looks even better. Let's just see. What do we have here? Palms, yes. Sable Island. It was. You need to take a. Yeah. I think to get out there, you have to book some special appointment. It's a park now, but not anybody can go there. So I think you have to make a reservation or something, and then they take you out there. They fly you out there. It's quite a ways away. I heard it's a very foggy place. It's something I've looked at for years. Foggy, windy, and there's Sable Island ponies out there. I believe there's a lake or two, freshwater lake. And I think Trachycarpus fortunei would work if it was planted out of the wind. I think the wind would probably beat the living out of it. Hello, aloha, Jane in Hawaii. Good to see you in there. Palm tree dude, if you flung around date 100,000 Washingtonia palm seeds, do you think there would be at least one that would really get? I've never done that. I've sowed a lot of Washingtonia seeds. I think the most I sowed at once was probably about 1,500 Washingtonia robusta and Washingtonia flifera. I actually bought them from Carter Seeds years ago. At my last location, I had a greenhouse as well, and I was growing palms there, and I used to sell them. And that's a good question. I wonder, if I picked a nice sunny microclimate and started experimenting, would one or two survive? I should probably buy some Washingtonia seeds because there's none around here. I would have to get them on eBay and do that. Or I mean, I could get them when I'm in Hawaii, but most likely those ones aren't going to be that good. It'd be better to collect them somewhere like in the south, like New Mexico, or say or St. George, Utah, or somewhere cold. Turkey, maybe somewhere in Turkey or something where it gets colder. Parts of Turkey, not all of Turkey gets cold. JP, do you plant palm trees along the highways in the city or business in the city gardens? You seem like, yeah, I do. Well, I'll tell you where I live is very rural, and there's no city here. I'll tell you what, we're not even a municipality. We are unincorporated here on the Gulf Islands. Okay, um, there are no there's not really a lot even of bylaws here that really can be enforced. So when I'm around in parks, like when I went for a walk in the park the other day, I spread thousand seeds around, palm seeds or more. And then the week before, I spread a couple thousand palm seeds around. So I do that. Yeah, sometimes I'll be driving along and I'll just chuck them out of the window of my vehicle. Yeah, some of them are going to get hit by the cutter. But yeah, I always do that. So there's no real city here as to speak of. We have a village, JP. It's called Ganges, like the River Ganges, but it's named after a surveying ship, or no, British military vessel surveying ship that was surveyed this area back in the 1800s. So there's a lot of palm trees growing in our parks. I just toss seed around over the years, and you throw a bit of seed around, and some of those palms are quite big now from just seed I've chucked around. Some of them I was actually told to dig out by the park supervisor, and I brought some here to our garden, and I planted some in other areas. Palm tree dude, I want to bring a whole bunch of seed stalks. Yeah, you should do that. They'll be. I have a lot of palmetto seedlings I've grown from seed from North Carolina. New Zealand silver fern Cyathea delbata can survive in the. Yeah, they actually sell delbata, Cyathea delbata, and Dixonia fibrosa and sclerosa at the nursery down the road from here. They have a lot of tree ferns, and I think that one would probably survive here. The problem is with tree ferns, they're very expensive. They're about $20 a trunk inch. So when you see one with 10 inches of trunk, you're going to be paying a couple $100 for it. And I don't know if Wendy's going to let me buy another tree fern. We have about a dozen tree ferns here in our garden. The most tender ones, we have two Cyathea cooperi, which is the Australian tree fern. Our hardiest are the in our garden are Dixonia antarctica, and we have lots of smaller ones in the garden. And of course, we have the big one with 6 feet of trunk on it that I planted over 26 years ago. Has any of your Trachycarpus swamp sonii formed a trunk? Absolutely. Some of them have been there a long time. Some of them are taller than me now, and with the fronds. But yeah, I think the biggest trunk might be about something like this. There are thousands of palm trees out there in the property, and I'm always throwing seed around. Jane Tang, the color is so stunning. Well, you know what? Silver. You say silver. Silver fern. Yeah, no, he's only got green ones in there. I haven't seen any silver ones, Jane. So his must be just Dixonia fibrosa and sclerosa. He might not have that one if it's silver, because what I'm seeing there is just green. Boy, that would be nice. Be nice to get some spores from that. He does grow tree ferns from spores as well. I've never had luck doing it. I had a buddy in Vancouver that grew them from spores. And yeah, he grew a lot of tree ferns. There's some in his garden with 10 feet of trunk on them. JP, do you plant palms along the beach? Can you share photos and videos of it? I don't plant any along the beach. I'll tell you why. And there are lots of palm trees growing along the beach in private gardens here. So you got a white crushed shell beach. I'll send you a video, okay? I'll send you a video of palms growing on a white shell beach near it. The beaches here, it's very dry. Okay, there's nobody to water them, and the soil is usually very rocky and lots of shells. So I don't think they would do very good unless you were there watering them all the time. But in private gardens on beachfront properties, yeah, there are palm trees, big ones, growing along the beach and along our lakes. Lakefront properties have some beautiful, beautiful palm trees here. We have 11 lakes on Salt Spring Island, and there's lots of palms on the lakes. But like I say, in private properties. The underside is so stunning, Jane is saying, of the silver tree fern. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one then. I'm going to have to check that out or ask Richard about it. Anyway, JP, stay tuned. I'll send you a video of a palmy garden on the ocean. It's a very good microclimate. It's a nice northern zone 9A. There's some butias growing in there, beautiful butias. Good night, fellow Earthlings. We will see you again. Food forest. I want to call you forest food. Food forest permaculture. Take care, and we will see you again. Thanks for joining in. I always appreciate you popping in there, and have a great day tomorrow. It's a short week for me because this past weekend was a long weekend here, and Monday was a holiday. So tomorrow's Thursday. And so it's a short week is good. I think Friday or Saturday, I'm going to head off to the Big Island, and I'm going to get a load of soil because I got to do some transplanting of palms, and soil's cheaper over there than it is here. So I have to catch a ferry to get that soil. Loved your stream, JP. Loved your stream. Thanks, JP. You take care. If you're leaving, I'm glad you like the stream, and I'm glad you join in. And I like your video you shot. I left a comment on your video. I like the music you got in there. So is that music that you did, or is that YouTube music with the birds in it? I really like the music with the birds in the background, and I really enjoyed your video. So keep making videos, and when you do get to New Mexico, definitely make some videos off the grid. People love videos of off the grid stuff, and you can really gain a lot of subscribers that way. And you can actually make some coin too when you start getting a lot of subscribers. Gene, I've been to New Zealand, and tree ferns are, oh god, yeah, they call them punga. They use them for fences there, and they cut them off and stick them in the ground, and they grow. So a lot of tree ferns. I have a photo on my wall in my man cave of a mountainside covered in tree ferns. My buddy took the photo when he got married there on the South Island of New Zealand, and they were absolutely beautiful. He says they're just below the snow line, and right up to the snow line. So it'd be nice to get some of those tree ferns here for sure. Okay, what else do we have here? We have a lot of you in there, and it's always nice to see your. I'm not going to say smiling faces because I can't see your faces. I can see little thumbnails here. I can see JP's. Jane, I think, has a flower. Palms doesn't have a thumbnail. He's got a little stick man type dude, an emoji. But yeah, New Zealand would be the place to go, Jane. My buddy loves New Zealand. He says, if I go to New Zealand, I'll never want to go back to Hawaii. Do you think that's true? Hawaii is my favorite place on the planet. And I know what New Zealand's like by videos and stuff like that. That's the thing. If I don't go somewhere, I can watch it on YouTube, right? And one of these days, maybe we'll go to New Zealand. The vegetation there, I think I would really like. Do you use YouTube money to buy more exotics? No, I don't use YouTube money to buy more exotics. I use some of that money to go to Hawaii. It's I get paid once a month from YouTube. It just goes in automatically. So, but put it this way, I'm not going to get rich on YouTube. There's some people that make millions on YouTube, and I'm not that one. I'm not that person. Okay, but I do throw it into a special place where I can go to Hawaii. So it helps. Put it that way. New Zealand is pretty nice in the north. Yeah, that's the North Island, the subtropical. Um, Palms, have you suggestions for what to plant instead of grass on my lawn? Yeah. Okay. I know some people love lawn. I'm not a lawn guy because today I spent the whole day mowing park lawns. So when I get home, the last thing I want to see is a lawn. Okay. And no offense to people that love lawns, but I think too many people spend way too much time and effort trying to keep a lawn green. It's a waste of water. They like to spread weed and feed on it, which is a chemical that's 2,4-D, so it's harmful to the environment. And I don't know. I find it the most boring feature of anybody's garden. So if you're going to show me a lawn, you're showing the wrong person a lawn because I don't even notice a lawn when I go into someone's garden. The first thing I go to are the plants, So we have no lawn here, okay? We just have paths, and the paths go through jungles of plants. So my answer to you is plant lots of. You can do rockeries, you can do gardens, and you can have pathways going through. Um, I should send you. Well, you can look at my video. Old palm trees in Vancouver, I think, is the title. It's a 60 by 100-foot lot, or 120 by 120-foot lot, 60 by 120. He has no lawn. Okay, it is a jungle. It is like walking into the frickin' Ho Chi Minh Trail in Vietnam. It's 30-foot tall palm trees, tree ferns, bananas, and no lawn. It's absolutely beautiful with carpets of begonias and everything else in there. That's the way to go. Waste of resources, Ryan. I'm with you. Do you think roses can be tropical? Yeah. You know what? I'm trying to think now, Jane. Have I seen roses growing in Hawaii? Do roses grow in Hawaii? I'm not a big rose person. Wendy likes roses, so she has some roses growing here. You have to protect them from the deer. But you know what? Come to think of it, I don't know if I've seen roses growing in Hawaii. I'll have to keep my eyes open. I'll be there. I'll be back on Maui in November if everything's safe, if it's safe to travel. Ryan, here in Portland, lots of houses with no lawns. Well, Portland, there's a lot of smart people, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I don't have the water to keep a lawn green. I mean, a lawn goes brown here in the summertime. You don't have to water it all summer, and then it'll go dormant and it will green up in the fall. But yeah, we're not lawn people here. I'm growing a rose plant. You know what? Let me know how it does, Jane. I'm curious. Can Jane grow a rose in Hawaii? Jane is living in the tropics, so I would like to know. I'd also like to know if you can grow a Trachycarpus fortunei. You got to be the first to experiment with one. Big gardening culture here. Yeah, Ryan, do ferns spread easily? Here they are. Oh my God, I wish I could flip my thing around. We have thousands and thousands of ferns on our property. They're all evergreen and they look absolutely amazing. And so they're spread by spores. Sometimes I dig a few out and I bring them up to the upper garden because they look so nice. And old ones actually get a little bit of a trunk on them. too, so they're really cool. They're western sword ferns, and there's also the licorice ferns that grow up in the trees too. I like ferns. They're one of my favorite plants. I like tree ferns just as much as I do palm trees. They are really nice. So if you guys can grow a tree fern, get a tree fern. Sometimes they may have them at Home Depot, I would imagine, or your local nursery, but you are going to pay a pretty penny for them when you're in Canada. Mine's flower. So Jane's is flowering. I wonder what type of roses. Well, maybe there are. Maybe they do like it. There. I just thought it was too tropical, too hot and humid for roses in Hawaii, but I could be wrong. I'll have to. Maybe there's a YouTube video somewhere of somebody growing roses in Hawaii. I'll have to Google that. That is pretty cool, Jane. There's some very fragrant roses. I just uploaded some pictures today on the Facebook group People Who Love Palm Trees of some roses in bloom. There's a nice wisteria in Rotary Park with some beautiful, I think they're David Austin growing through it, David Austin roses. And then there's some rugosa roses beside it, which are very fragrant. Rugosa are very hardy. And then there's some we have a lot of wild roses. We have native roses here, and they're very fragrant. They're beautiful. What else do we have here? Ryan, you really need to get some of the giant chain ferns. I don't know if we have those here. My wife is Wendy's a fern nut. She loves ferns. We have a lot of ferns here. I don't know if we have any chain ferns. We have ostrich ferns. We have a lot. We have a big fern collection. Okay, most of them are evergreen, but I don't know if we have the giant chain fern. Western sword ferns are actually pretty. They are nice. I love them. You should see ours with all the new fronds right now. They're big. I mean, some of them are as tall as me. Right? They're absolutely gorgeous. Giant chain fern, evergreen and huge. Wow, cool. Maybe we do have it. I'll have to check. I'll have to check with Wendy. She's the fern person here in the garden, and the Japanese maple person. She might have just uploaded another video. She uploaded a couple of videos, I think, today, and one of them is of the maple. Somebody was asking about the Japanese maples we grow, and Wendy's a Japanese maple freak, so she uploaded a couple of videos. So check out Gulf Island Rock, okay? Gulf Island Rock. So Gulf is one word, and Island Rock together. That's Wendy's YouTube channel, and you can see some of her garden videos too. Native to Oregon. Cool. The cultivar, Jane says, is Mrs. B.R. Oh, it's a tea rose. Cool. So it has smaller flowers on it, I'm guessing, than a tea rose. Palm tree dude, I have an ostrich fern, but yeah, ours really dry out in the summer and look terrible here. Right now, they look absolutely beautiful. Woodwardia. Okay, giant chain fern. You know what? The nursery down the road from us has an unreal fern collection. Richard Fraser Thimble Farm Nursery is a massive nursery, oldest nursery on Salt Spring Island, and they have ferns to die for. So I will ask him if he has a giant chain fern. I'll have to make a trip there. Maybe tomorrow after work, I'll head up there and I will check. It's only like a 1 minute drive from our place. Unfortunately, it's very close. That's a very scary thing when you're a palm addict and plant addict. Shadow 37, bonjour. How you doing, man? Good to see you in there. Woodwardia. Okay, we're gonna have to check that out. Jane, Bletchium chilensis. It's evergreen. Blechnum. Is that a hardy one? I've heard of Blechnum. Is it that hardy for this zone? I'm curious. What's the hardiness on it? Fronds can grow 4 to 6 foot in length. Oh, I like that. Ryan's saying 4 to 6 foot in length. That is awesome. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to Google it too. When I get off of this live stream, I'm going to actually Google that giant chain fern. I've probably seen it before, but I got to refresh my memory. Sounds pretty cool. I think that would be really nice in our garden. We have it used to be more of a shade garden over there, but I nuked the top of that maple. See where the ivy is and the little bird feeder on top? I cut the top off that. That used to cast a lot of shade. So that area gets a lot of sun. It can grow in Seattle. Okay. Seattle's only about 100 or so miles north or south of us as the crow flies. And whatever Seattle grows, we can grow. So yeah, I'll definitely look into that. That sounds really cool, Jane. Thanks for the advice. You always got good tips and good advice. That's for sure. I know Jane likes to garden. Also, Google sable miner Congaree. I will. Might even be YouTube videos of it. Cool. And if there isn't, you should make one. Congaree. Cool. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I mean, I have sable miner from South and North Carolina. I have them from Virginia. I have them from Oklahoma, Arkansas, Northern Florida. I have them from Georgia, Mississippi. People have sent me seeds from all over, so I have a lot of sable miner growing. Also, Larry Johnson, would love to see you on the Survivor? I'll tell you something about Survivor. Okay, about 20 years ago, when Survivor first started, it went for 4 years on Salt Spring Island, but it ran in the paper, and I was one of the contestants in that, and I was one of the runner-ups. I just about won it. I just about won it. I was the last. There's only two of us left, me and one other guy, and he beat me because I said something stupid. What would you leave on a desert island that people would know you were there? And I says, I would carve, I would carve a picture of a palm tree and leave my name under it in a tree, which was a bad thing because there's a lot of tree huggers here, and they didn't like that answer. Carving into a tree is a no-no. I should have said I should have chiseled it into a rock. So the other guy won. So the picture was me of him throwing a banana peel down. It was in the paper, and me slipping on the banana peel. So I just about won the Survivor thing here, and I still actually have all of those newspaper clippings from it. It was a full page thing that ran in the paper weekly until all the contestants. It started with, well, how many? I don't know how many contestants are in Survivor, but it started with as many contestants that are in the actual Survivor, and there was a $500 prize. So I was in a couple of them. I won the first one, and the second one I didn't win. So the first one I won, and I got $500 for a charity of my choice, and I gave it to the hospital fund. And the second one I lost, and John and Tim that own the TJ Beans coffee shop won that. But that was a long time ago. It was, God, it had to have been, yeah, in the early 2000s anyway, maybe 2003, something like that. Let's just see. Palms. Have a good idea for a weed control. I'm trying to get rid of grass in my garden. Medium layer wood chips. Yeah, we use grass clippings. We use a lot of grass clippings. I bring them home for Wendy, and she throws them all over the garden. So that's the mulch. It adds nitrogen to the soil. It improves the soil. We have a lot of earthworms in there now. So Wendy's actually making soil, and it's doing really well by adding grass clippings. And in the fall, I bring home leaf mulch from the parks. And so Wendy takes those garbage cans full of it and throws them around the garden. She did 4 garbage cans yesterday. Do you run 10Ks and stuff? I don't run. I work. I walk so much at work. Okay. I have sometimes I wear one of those little pedometer things. Those, it tells you how many footsteps you make. You can have it on your iPhone. I walk thousands and thousands of footsteps every day because I'm mowing. I push mow a lot of the parks in town. So I pushed mowed 2 big parks today in town, and part of another one. And then I do a lot of physical stuff, but I do exercise. I do work out 5 days a week. But no, I tried the jogging thing. It's not my thing, but I get a lot of exercise at work just walking around, and I get a lot of exercise in my mouth talking to you people too, right? Um, digging away. This was after digging away all my weeds first. Well, that's good. You're a smart guy, and that should hopefully keep them down. It's good to keep the weeds down. Basically, our garden is weed free. Okay, it's you rarely see a weed in our garden because there's so many plants, and that's what Wendy and I will do. We'll pull it out if we see a weed and put another plant in, right? So there's no competition here. Uh, Palm Tree Dude, there's a lot of runners on our island, but these roads aren't the greatest ones to run on. Okay. Salt Spring Island is like this, right? And the roads are really windy and really narrow. And I think it's kind of dangerous to run here. So I think stick to the track. We've got a beautiful track at one of the parks where I work at, and we maintain it. So there's a lot of joggers there too. 4 times around is a mile. Ryan, palms, you need to put cardboard down first and wood chips. Yeah, cardboard would be better because eventually, if there's some seeds left in the soil, they're going to come up through the wood chips and you will have to pull them out. There's a workout area in front of the pool. It's like a public workout kind of outdoor gym, and we have wood chips down there. We did put remay, like a landscape cloth, when we originally put the wood chips down 10 years ago. But over the years, seeds and stuff get into there, and the wood chips break down, and weeds start to grow in there. We weeded it all out last year, the entire thing. Last summer, we were down on our hands and knees weeding this massive area, and I'm looking right now, and it's full of weeds again. And we laid off our auxiliary people that were usually doing that because of the COVID-19. So we had to lay off a couple of people. And I'm looking at some of the garden beds, and they're just so full of weeds. It's kind of sad. So I can't wait till they come back and do the weeding. I don't have time for it. I do so many other things in the park department with the other guys I work with the other crew. Just don't have time to weed. It says Jane Dodonia viscosa. It's a shrub hard growing it. It's native to Hawaii. Really? Zone 8. So it's got to be upper elevation then. I don't think there's any actually zone 8 in Honolulu, like on Oahu, but I'm thinking the top of Haleakala on Maui might be 8B 9A. I bet on the very top. What do you think? Maybe 9A. And I'm sure there's probably Zone 8 up on top of Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. Um, yeah, up on the Big Island of Hawaii. I don't know if there is any on. I don't know if there's any Zone 8s. I don't think there is. No, there couldn't be on Oahu. I think that's all Zone 11, isn't it? Even the highest mountains there don't get that cold. Zone 8. Wow, that is cool. Hardy to Zone 8, and it's a Hawaiian plant. I have to look that one up. See, I'm going to go back through these comments after, and I'm going to look at that name. I should have a pad and pen here and write that down. And I'd like to try some of these ones in the garden. It can be found in other locations beside Hawaii. Interesting. Hmm. Does it? So it's a shrub. Does it flower? I'm guessing it's an evergreen. I think pretty much everything in Hawaii is evergreen except Jacaranda mimosafolia. It does lose its leaves at some point, gets its flowers, and then gets its leaves on it. Where we park our car in front of our condo in Kihei on Maui, there is a massive Jacaranda mimosafolia, and it had some flowers on it. We were there, beautiful tree, but it got kind of windy one day and was losing a few branches, and I was worried about our car getting smoked by a branch. I wish we could grow jacaranda here, but we can't. I've tried. Are you growing any weather for Canary Island date palms in your garden? Yeah, got a small one down here. Last one got nuked in 2008, and then I planted another one, and it didn't do very well. Temperatures got down. When was it? It was 4 years ago. It got really beat up and it kind of declined. And so I put in another one. We have a lot of them. I have a lot of date palms that I've grown from seed. They're in pots out in the sun deck, and I move them into the tiki hut for the wintertime. So it's not heated in the tiki hut, and they do well. Jane, stunning seed pods. So is that on the Jacaranda mimosafolia or the other one that you're talking about? Jacaranda grow like weeds in Hawaii. Do you have, Rambo, do you have access to many ANZ plants? Oh, we grow. You should see the grevilleas growing on Salt Spring Island and the clistemen. We have a lot of clistemen in our garden, and I grew them from seed, most of them. There's one clistemen here. No, two that I didn't grow from seed. Rigida, and then there's another one, the red flowering ones. All the yellow kind of white ones I grew from seed, pallidus, and they're taller than me. Those ones, they got to be. I bet you one of them's 10 feet tall. So, and there's a lot of them on our island. Okay, we have Grevillea Canberra, and we have Grevillea. We just planted a Grevillea Victoria. I had a huge Grevillea Victoria, and about 25 years ago, one summer, it just up and died on me. It was growing in rocky soil. There's a big hedge of it growing in our town at one of the condo complexes, Grevillea Victoria. It's been there for 30 years. Didonia vicosa has beautiful seed pods. That is cool. I like that. I like plants like that. Yeah, Ryan, we grow a lot of Australian plants here, and as you can see the eucalyptus trees on the other side of the house. There, see, right there, way over there beyond the chimney. Those are all eucalyptus trees. You can see the white bark on them, right there. The white, that's the tops of the trees. Those ones are close to 100 feet tall now, and they do self seed here occasionally. Is 105 used for 75 blue cameras? 105. You're talking about Camerops humulus cerifera. Lots of hybrid ones available here in Portland, Ryan. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Portland's a good hot climate. They'd love it there. Palms 105. Camerops good price is 105. Are you talking about the size? So 75 centimeter blue. I'm not sure what size gallon. See, I go by gallon pots, right? So I go by 1 gallon, 2, 5, 15, 20. 105 is probably okay, I guess, if it's a 5 gallon size or so. If it's a nice size 5 gallon, because Camerops humulus cerifera are not so easy to find. Not here anyway. We have one in our garden. Your ukes are bigger than mine. Yeah, I grew these ones from seed, Ryan. We have I don't know how many eucalyptus trees we have in our garden. I'm guessing we have probably 30 or 40 eucalyptus trees in our garden. I'd have to count them sometime, but they're all over the place. And we have a lot of different varieties, many different varieties of eucalyptus. They're pretty big trees, but there are bigger ones on Salt Spring Island. 75 centimeters in height, so 30 centimeters is a foot. So we are talking 2.5 feet. Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's a good price. I think that's a fair price. Brian Lowry, aloha, aloha. I like the emojis. We got the palm tree. We got the pineapple going on. I like palms and I like pineapples. Hey Brian, Jonathan Bettinger, Jane. Dodonia viscosa can grow in subtropical temperate. Okay, cool, cool. That's good information, Jane. Our climate here is Mediterranean like. And well, you know what our climate's like. You've seen my videos. Like I say, I don't miss a day of shooting, right? So you can see the snow we get here in the winter when we get snow. You can see how long it stays. You can see if the lakes are frozen. I've shot a video of those. It was that was about 4 years ago. The lakes froze. And people, I actually stood out on one of the lakes. I think I have a video of me, and it was like I walked out and went, and it cracked, so I ran back in. But they were they got thick enough the ice where people were actually skating on the lakes here. And the last time that happened was January 1993 when we had an extended freeze, and that was the last time people skated on the lake. So people skated. It's usually once every 25 years they will freeze the lakes. Usually the south end ones, and this was the north end one that actually froze too, which is about 4.5 kilometers south of me. And you know what? Our coldest temperature that winter was minus 4.1 degrees Celsius. It was the length of the freeze. It stayed around a while, so it could get those lakes to freeze so you could skate on them. Palm tree dude, how much growth can you get out of a Dell plant? Probably about, let's see. Okay, I've seen Nightons grow 6 feet in 1 year, and I'm gonna say probably about, I bet you dollar and planter will grow about 5 feet, at least in a season. I'm constantly pruning them, and our Nitons too. We're constantly pruning the things. The big ones I can't reach, but the smaller ones I chop them. I got to do some chopping in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to get the Silky extended pole pruners out, and I'm going to cut the tops off of them. And there's still one big one I have to get cut down. It's a 60-foot Perineana, and I did a stupid thing and I planted it near the greenhouse where it hangs over the greenhouse. And if a branch falls off, it's going to smash the greenhouse. And I really don't feel like buying another greenhouse. The redwood fell, just about crushed it. And I was very lucky that the top of the redwood did not crush the greenhouse, but it fell over the greenhouse. I got a video of it here. You can see it. And it only cracked the vent. And I put a new panel of glass in, and it cracked a side panel. I put a new panel in. Didn't damage the greenhouse though anywhere else. Dang that. Tom Trudy, dang that's fast. I had some Delaware seeds germinate and potted them up way too early, killed them. Yeah, I plant them when they're small. That's the best way to plant them. I sowed a flat of eucalyptus in the greenhouse, and they are starting to come now. They're just starting to pop. I can see little baby seedlings in there. It's Archeri, Dallarium pliana, Perineana, I think, and that's just a mixed bag. And once they start getting leaves, I can kind of tell what they are. Perineana is very easy to tell, the spinning gum, that's for sure. Jane Tang, eucalyptus is a dangerous tree. Yeah, they are dangerous. They do lose branches, and they are very flammable. I like them. I think they're absolutely beautiful. But um, if I could change things, I don't think I would have planted so many of them, and I wouldn't have planted them so close to the house. We have some big ones. I don't think they'll fall on the house, but they're about 10 feet away at least. Some of those big ones. But what I did wrong was plant palms underneath them, and they've sucked all the life out of the palms, which is kind of sad. So the palms are very slow and stunted, and the eucalyptus are monsters. Phil Wyatt Outdoors, hello from UK. Hello, UK. Hello from Salt Spring Island. Hope everything's well there. You tuned in, and it's nice to see you in there. I won't stay too much longer. I'll go a few more minutes. And it must be pretty late in the UK. It's like about 9 hours ahead of us there. So, dude, you should be sleeping. It is early in the morning in the UK. It is 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, probably two something in the morning. It is 5:23 p.m. Pacific time here on Salt Spring Island. It has cooled off a little bit. There's a cloud that's gone in front of the sun, and now we got some scattered clouds. There's a lot of blue sky around too, but there's definitely scattered clouds around. So Ryan Bartle, depends on the species. Yeah, there's about 700 different types of eucalyptus or more. I think they're pretty exotic. A lot of people don't associate eucalyptus in Canada. This is the only place in Canada you will ever grow eucalyptus trees, okay, is along the Pacific coast. I did grow them in zone 8A, 8B, southeast of Langley, and they would often freeze to the ground. I planted one for my mom and dad years ago, and it defoliated in a bad winter. I told her to cut it down. She left it, and it actually did regrow leaves again. It was a gunny eye. My mountain gums used to freeze to the ground. The only one that I could really keep above the ground there was a Debusavilli and Niphophila, the snow gum, and it was in a sheltered spot out of the wind, but they'd even get damaged too. So enough of that nonsense. And then I packed up my stuff and I moved to Salt Spring Island, and now they just grow like weeds. Brian Lowry, is it normal for palm roots to be? Oh yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of them coming out the base of the trunk. You'll see them coming off the Trachycarpus palms. I do on that sometime. It's quite interesting. Doesn't hurt them. Doesn't hurt them. Most of them are below ground anyway. I have neglecta growing, but I heard they're yeah, no, they'll grow into massive trees here. I have neglecta. Look at my video on a hedge, eucalyptus hedge of neglecta. They're growing just up from town as you drive out of town. The guy planted them. I don't know when he planted them. Maybe 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. And they're big trees. They're not bushes. They're huge. In a cold climate, they're going to freeze to the ground, and they'll probably never amount more to a bush than more than a bush. But here they are, big trees. Is it normal for palms to no roots above ground? You're going to get some palm roots above ground. So Trachycarpus will often get some roots coming off the base of the trunk just above the soil level, and that's not bad. It won't hurt them. And I've seen it on other palms too. I've seen it in Hawaii like that. Palm tree dude, more bush-like. Palm tree neglecta or not bushes. They grow big here. Yeah, same here too. Yeah, they're about 30 feet tall. The ones that I shot a video of the hedge. Holy crap! I made a mistake where I planted. Yeah, they get big. What palm tree you're talking about, Brian? Hello, I'm trying to find some good palms. Well, in Zone 6B, the only palms that I know will grow there, you have to be in the deep south. You'll have to be in Kansas City because I know Jacob Fry in Kansas, he grows sable minors. So in a 6B in the north, you will never grow palm. Hardy palms that will ever grow unprotected in Zone 6B. But if you go to the south in a 6B, it's a different story, and you could grow sable minor and Rapidophyllum hystrix, and you could probably grow sable Birmingham and maybe a few other really hardy ones. But up here, they're going to need protection in Zone 6B. And all general. Next time I'm out, I need to see how close another tree. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, they get big. Give them adequate space. See, a lot of people when they plant trees when they're small, they're not looking into the future. And I've seen this done with a redwood tree. So the guy plants a redwood tree next to his house when it's a little baby, and then in 15 years, 20 years, he's cutting the thing down because it's too big and pushing up against his house, right? So think about what palm trees could be close to the house. We have palm trees right next to the house. See that one right there? Right there. The fronds are brushing the house. If I can grab this here and show you what the side of our house looks like. You can see that right there. See, there's palm trees all down the side of the house, okay? There's lots of palm trees, and then there's some bamboo in between the palm trees. There's some tall bamboo over there, and it's loaded with jasmine. There's a lot of jasmine in the bamboo. So I'm going to go here, and then you can see some eucalyptus. See the eucalyptus there? Eucalyptus behind me there. Right there. There's eucalyptus. I got this thing plugged in because the battery's not very good. Otherwise, I could walk around the garden with it. That ain't going to work, folks. But that eucalyptus is about 10 feet away from the house. But it's growing in rock, so I don't have to worry about the roots wrecking the foundation. You got to remember, folks, we live on rock here. You can plant bamboo, and it's not going to take over the place. So out of 2,600 species of palm, what's your favorite? Oh, I do like needle palm and sable minor. I like Bismarckia. Bismarckia is one of my favorite, but I really like needle palms and I really love sable minors. So I'm going to say those two are probably my favorites. And for the tropical palm, Bismarckia nobilis, Latania, those are great too. I always admire those when I'm in Hawaii. I know most people aren't into the shrubby palms, but I sure am. They survived 12 degrees this winter. What survived 12 degrees this winter? The eucalyptus? Oh, I have 3 windmill palm trees in Ohio. Wow. And did you protect them? You guys had a mild winter this year, didn't you? I know there are people in Ohio that grow them and they do protect them. That's for sure. The guy that wrote the book, Palm Trees Won't Grow Here, and Other Plants and Palm Trees Won't Grow Here. I bought the book when it first came out. And I think he's from in Ohio. I think the guy lives in Ohio and experimented with palms in Ohio. Trachycarpus can grow here. Trachycarpus are weeds in the UK. You can grow Phoenix canariensis there. A lot of places in the UK are zone 9. Very good climate there. Ryan, no, it will survive long. Um, no palm. No palm will survive long term in Ohio without protection, unfortunately. You know, when a palm survives long term without protection, it's been in the ground for more than 15 years. I'm not, when I'm talking surviving, I'm talking it comes through winter and it still has a beautiful big crown on it. I'm not talking one spindly frond sticking. A lot of see, and I don't want to sound mean or anything, but I know a lot of people in really cold climates try to grow palms, and sometimes they get really heavily damaged. And then they only have like one or two fronds sticking out of them, right? And it doesn't look that good. A palm tree should have fronds on it top to bottom. You see that big one right there? That big one right there has fronds top to bottom. It doesn't have, they've never been damaged. I've never seen a palm tree damaged here in the winter, even in the worst winters. I've never lost a palm tree in the winter. I have lost palm trees in the summer. So if you're going to grow palm trees in the cold climate, my advice to you is, protect them good so they look good in the winter. There's a guy in Pennsylvania, and he's often posting pictures on Zone Pushers group in Facebook, and he really boxes them in nicely. His palm trees are amazing. They have beautiful big crowns on them. So there's one growing in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And a friend of mine, Michelle, she posted a picture of it on the Facebook group the other day, people who love palm trees and exotic plants, and it does not look good. It does. It looks beat up. You go to the site and you'll see it. She shot a little video of it. It's got about 12 feet of trunk on it or so, and it's only got just a couple of beat up little fronds on top. And one more bad winter, and that thing's going to be dead. Okay, because it stresses them when they get that beat up. 12 degrees is about minus 11 degrees Celsius, something like that. So remember, and then it's the length of the freeze. Okay, so one night at 12 degrees is not really a problem, but if you have a week straight at 12 degrees, you're going to start to see damage and sometimes even death. Also depends where the palm came from. Okay, so if you get palm seed from a palm tree, let's say in Vancouver, that was planted in the 1960s, super hardy. That's a good ecotype right there. But if you get palm seed from a palm that's growing in Florida, and they grow it there, and then you import it from Florida, that one could most likely get killed or heavily damaged. I have 3 trachys flower at the moment, but sadly, you need a female. You got to plant some more palms, Phil. Get some more palms out there. I shot a video and I'm going to upload it later when I get off of here. I dusted a female palm tree. I can show you how to pollinate palms. If you don't know, I took some male pollen from one in one of the other parks, and I dusted one of the females I planted years ago in one of the other parks in Rotary Park. I see no evidence of take heel are hardier than. I've heard that too. Matter of fact, there's a guy in Utah, and you can see his videos on YouTube. He grows take heel, and I talked to the guy. I messaged him on the comments, and he says the first batch died. The first ones he had died. They looked good. He had beautiful palms, and they froze, and then he put a second batch of take heel in. Yes, I'm trying to see if Trachycarps teakle would do well in Ohio. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking they're not any hardier than Fortunae. Fortunae might even be hardier. I tell you what seems to be very hardy here too is Matapure. We have Matapure in our garden. It seems to be really good. Teak-heel is the only Trachycarps I've had spear pull. Is that interesting? I have lots in the greenhouse seedlings, so I got to wait till they're a little bigger and I'll put them outside. Hey Joe, do you have any good restaurants on? Oh yeah, lots of restaurants here. Lots of restaurants. Some expensive restaurants too. Hastings House and House Piccolo are most expensive. Those ones you're going to pay probably $50 minimum a plate. We have pizza place. We have a Chinese food place. We have the best pasta place. He moved here from Italy about, at least a decade ago or so or more. And he makes all his own pasta from scratch. It's all organic, free range eggs he uses. It's the best. So Del Vecchio's pasta. It's a little hole in the wall in Ganges. We have Montreal smoked meat sandwiches, sushi places, bakeries. There's tons of places here. There's lots of places to eat on Salt Spring Island. There's Burger Bar. There's Oyster Catcher restaurant. You name it, and you can eat here. Not a problem at all. Let's just see. Larry Jane. I went to Japan this winter, and I had experienced nothing to most. No, you're right, Jane. 29 is nothing to a Trachycarpus fortunae or even a Cycas revoluta. We have those out on the front deck there, and it was down to minus 5.1, 22.1 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is minus 5.3 or minus 5.5. You can look that up, degrees Celsius. And they were fine. But I did wrap the pots up, and because they were in pots, and pots are less hardy than if they were in the ground. And they are close to the house, so it probably didn't get quite that cold there, but they were fine. What happens if you plant a palm in soil that is deep enough in the roots to go further down? It will. Palms, I tell you what, I have palms growing in rocky soil that are 30 years old. I'm not lying. And they're Trachycarpus palms. Let's just see, maybe they're about that tall. They're about that tall. I have a video on that. So um, just because a palm is really old doesn't mean it's going to be super tall. The growing conditions have everything to do with it, okay? So if you put that same palm in amazing soil and water it, those palms will probably be 30 feet tall by now. But right now they are stunted. They're like bonsai palms. They're 30 years old, and the trunk on them is about maybe this big, and then there's fronds on top of that. I got the seed from Germany for those ones. I saw your Trachy seedling growing in the swamp. It's crazy how it can survive. It's been standing water, and that's not the only ones. It's all boggy down there, right? Phil, that thing has been growing there all winter long, and that's not the only one. Like I say, there are other ones in that creek bed, and all along that creek that floods over, and they will grow in standing water. It is boggy down there. You got to wear boots to walk where those palms are growing. It's very, very spongy and wet, and some of those palms are getting quite big. Like I say, the tallest one now is taller than me. And you got to remember, they're growing in the forest under canopy of trees, a lot of them. So they got competition. So some of the older ones were planted in the 1990s, and they're doing very well along the creek bed there. Can I get a tall Trachycarpus palm to be Sure, you could. Willie, yeah, you could. You'd have to order it in from the south somewhere. I'm trying to think of the name of that palm tree nursery that delivers all over the place. Not Tai Tai. I forget the name of it. Anyway, go online. You could find something and they'll deliver a palm to you. Jane, I'm trying to bonsai Metrosideros. Ooh, is that the New Zealand Christmas tree? Metrosideros? That's what I keep thinking of. Palm tree dude, I've seen really stunted palmetto growing in the woods in Florida before it really looked like a different. Yeah, that's cool. I grow Etonia. I have seedlings in the greenhouse. Wow. Yeah, it is kind of interesting. I've seen bonsai Trachycarpus fortunae. I've never done it, but I've seen somebody else do it in a video. Dylan Kelly, should I be worried about the new leaves coming out of my tree fern? Yeah, yeah, I would. Maybe you might want to. The new fronds are tender and wind. If you're going to get a lot of wind there, they could break. Ours is in an alcove up against the building, and it doesn't get any cold wind in there. It does not get any wind in there, so I don't have to worry about it. But if it's going to get windy, I don't know. You might want to wrap it with something, some netting, or put some stakes beside the tree fern so they can't sway and break. Or cardboard. Put some cardboard up beside it to stop the wind from going in. Squeeze the fronds up and make a windshield because if it's going to be strong winds, they could break. Jonathan, fast growing trees. Eucalyptus, redwoods, sequoia, coast redwoods are really fast. Ours are, I don't know, 60, 70 feet tall. I planted them when I moved here, and they were just small trees. We have the green and the blue form, and we also have the big tree from the Sierra Nevadas, and that's got to be up close to 100 feet tall, I bet. Groundworks. Yeah. No, it's not groundworks. It is chili palm trees. I think it might be called chili, like Chilly, chili service or something like that. You could try that. Go online and find out. I've seen them post pictures before on Facebook. I have a picture of a stunted palmetto. You should post it. Yeah, Groundworks. I've never heard of Groundworks. That's one we got to look up. Groundworks. Okay, Jane says Groundworks. Look that one up. If you guys want to order a tall palm tree for your garden in Ohio, I mean, you could ask a local nursery. Maybe they'll bring one in for you. You never know. They sell so many big trackies here. Okay, trackies are a dime a dozen here on the Pacific coast of Canada, here in the North Pacific. So if you want a palm tree with 15 feet of trunk, you go to the nursery and they'll probably have a 15-foot trunk. Cato's, or not Cato's, Dinter's over on the Big Island. I was in there and they had tons of big palm trees. Oh, they're expensive though. So I've never had to buy any big palm trees. I've had them all given to me. People tell me to dig them out of their yard. They don't want them. So I take them. Oh, it's getting nice and sunny out here again. Palm tree dude, I have a picture of the stunted. Okay, so post that one. Palms, what is the most tropical thing you put in the ground and have survived the wind? Oh, palms. Well, look at my latest video. I uploaded it. I think it was this morning. Might have been this morning or yesterday. Look at it. It's a yucca gigantea. It's been in our garden for 13 years. In June will be 13 years, and it looks absolutely awesome. We have gasteria growing. We have a lot of gasteria, which has survived several years now. We have dickia, which is a really cool kind of ground bromeliad. We have Fiscalaria. It seems to be fully hardier. Fiscalaria has been in the ground over a decade. And some really cool lily. I'm not that sure what it is. I should shoot a video of it. I forget the name of it. It almost looks like a, but it's actually a lily. So I'm waiting for it to bloom, and it's evergreen here. And it's been in the ground at least 10 years or more. Hasn't bloomed yet, though. Metrosideros is a, oh, it's to Hawaii. Cool. Oh, I bet you it's a beautiful. If it's from Hawaii, it has to be beautiful because everything in Hawaii is beautiful. Even the people in Hawaii are beautiful. And for you people that have not been to Hawaii, you got to check out Hawaii. It's the most awesome place. Been in the ground for years, Ryan. Awesome. What is the growth rate there? That's awesome. What is the growth rate there? I would say moderate. Moderate. I'm not going to say slow, moderate, because when I take cuttings from that thing, and I've taken cuttings from it, I cut a chunk off of it, and I got a bunch of cuttings from it, and they grow actually pretty fast. So I would say moderate. In the greenhouse, fast, and moderate outside. Because there's cuttings I put into the greenhouse to root them out fast, and they grew pretty quick in the greenhouse. Let's just see what else do we have here. This palm tree dude. Not like the south, but we do have hot summers. Yeah, our summers are just they're good. They're actually very comfortable here. And like I say, humidity's low. Occasionally we get high humidity a few days in the summertime, but I don't really like it. Do you grow blue fescue? In our garden, no, but in our gardens at work, we grow a lot of blue fescue and blue oat grass, which is quite nice too. We grow a lot of grasses in the gardens at the pool, and I actually have videos of it. The grasses actually look quite amazing. We planted a lot of ornamental grasses there. Red hot pokers are blooming there right now, which is really cool. I just posted a picture on people who love palm trees. Well, guys, you know what? I think I'm going to sign off here in a minute or two and grab some dinner because it is 5:41, and I think I need to upload a YouTube video. This isn't really a YouTube video. This is just me babbling away about plants. But I will upload a YouTube video. I think I'll put the one on of me hand pollinating a female Trachycarpus palm in Marine Rotary Park. I planted that palm in the park in 2003, and it is absolutely a beautiful female palm tree with lots of inflorescence on it. Now, so palm tree dude, that's interesting to know. I would think places like the West Coast, tons of palmetto. No, there's no palmetto here. There are some. I'm not going to say no. There are people that grow palmetto here. It's just not a common palm. I don't even see them in California, but I'm sure they probably grow. That's actually an East Coast palm. California's washies. They're weeds here. When you get up north, it's all Trachycarpus. This is Trachycarpus country. Willie, how well would Nanneroptericiana do here in Ohio? Yeah, they're not hardy to zone 6. There's no possible way. I grew it in zone 8 and it died the first winter. So, zone 8A, I had Nannerops imported from, I think it was Jungle, or it might have been, it wasn't Jungle Music. It was Neon Palm Nursery. It was in the late 80s. And it actually died the first winter when I lived in zone 8A, 8B. So definitely not that hardy to zone 6. I would give it protection in the wintertime, okay? I want to try another one here. I've grown a bunch from seed too, and I sold a bunch of them. So slow growing though, that's the thing. They need, I don't think they like the winter wetness. Camarops can handle it here. Nannerops, I don't think likes it. Ryan, big palmettos were tried and failed a while back. They were mediums. Wow, interesting. There's a big one growing in Victoria, and there's one in my buddy's yard in near Vancouver. I got a video of it here. Check out the video. Sable palmetto near Vancouver. And it's a beautiful one. It's been in the ground at least 5 years or so. It's absolutely growing beautifully. And there's a big one growing in front of the Empress Hotel in Victoria. Ryan, probably 20. They're fat. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I love palmettos. That's another one of my favorite palms. Do you grow Pachypodum? Pachypodum. What is that? A fern? That's an interesting name. The soil is rich. Palm tree. If the soil is the soil rich? No. Our soil is probably has a lot of minerals in it. It's very rocky. So on our property here, that's why we have Pacific Madrona everywhere. Thin membranous soil up here in our garden. The rest is sandstone and shale. So I'm sure there's a lot of minerals in there. These guys are growing in native soil. planted those back in the 1990s. They should be taller. They're growing good. I'm happy with them, but the soil is very rocky and poor and dry here, like a sieve. Okay, so after a big rain, you're not going to be walking around in mud puddles. It goes right through the ground here, and that's what it does in the summer. So we have to do a lot of watering. I got two Chinese fan, Jonathan, Chinese fan palms die back. Heard they can die back. Yeah, if you're in a hot climate, it's a lot better. If they die back up here, they're painfully slow to recover. I know that because I experimented at my last location when I lived southeast of Vancouver in Zone 8 AP, and they are Zone 9. They are a Zone 9 plant for sure. They will grow here on Salt Spring Island in sheltered locations. I'm a huge sable palmetto addict. You should have seen them when I'm. Yeah. Oh, I bet. I've been to Florida, and there was a lot of sable palmettos down there, and I like them too. I think they're absolutely beautiful with all the crisscross boots on them, and then you see some of the old ones with the smooth trunks. Absolutely beautiful palm. You know what? I like all palms. I just have some favorites, but I absolutely love all palms. They're a great plant. Madagascar palm. Oh yeah, no, I grew that when I was a kid. That's one of the plants that I grew when I was a kid. I think I got the first one when I was, I don't know, probably in 1974, 75, somewhere around there. It was in the mid 70s, kind of like a cactus with a few funny things sticking out on top of it. They're kind of cool. I've seen some bigger ones in Hawaii too. I mean, as tall as me. Do you have a tour of your garden? Yeah, we've had many tours here. I think since I've lived here and created the garden, and Wendy's made it even better when she came into the picture, I'm going to say I've had close to 20 garden tours here. Even the Royal Horticultural Society has been through here last year, the year before. We had garden tours here last year. Quite a few people come through. I think one of the tours, there was about 280 people come through. And yeah, we've had a lot of garden tours here to view our exotic garden. And a lot of people are kind of blown away. And then they pick up a few ideas too, right? And they want to start growing palms, which is a good thing. Yeah, if you're ever on Salt Spring Island, I've had people from all over, come to Salt Spring Island, and when they're on Salt Spring, they come visit. They visit the garden. I've met a lot of people from YouTube. I've met a lot of people from Facebook, and they show up here on Salt Spring Island. I had one guy from Sweden message me. He says, "Joe, KJ Pearson, we're on Salt Spring Island. Can you come and meet us in town?" This is a guy that posts on people who love palm trees. Never met the guy in my life. I just see his posts. I reply to his posts, and let me get out of the sun here. And so I picked him up in town, and I brought him and his wife to our garden a couple years ago, a couple summers ago, and he toured our garden from Sweden. And we've had people from all over the U.S. and Canada tour our garden too. We've actually had people from Hawaii. We have a B&B here, right? So we had a lot of people stay at our B&B as well from all over the world. And we've had two separate couples now from Hawaii stay at B. And it's funny, the sign, I carve with a chainsaw. You've probably seen some of my videos. I do chainsaw carvings like signs and tikis and stuff, and just simple folk art tikis. But the sign in front of the B&B says "Aloha Ikomo Mai," and it's in a big piece of driftwood. And so the dude comes up through the front gate, and he's walking through the palm trees. He says, "Man, I feel like I'm in Hawaii." And he looked up at the sign, and he says, "I am from Hawaii. I'm from Honolulu." And they stayed at our B&B, and he loved it, and he really liked the garden, which is cool. So anyway, guys, I'm going to say aloha to all of you for now. Yeah, well, you should visit the Northwest Palm Tree Dude and then come and see Salt Spring Island. You have to make a reservation on the ferry, and it is a 3-hour ferry ride from the mainland to get to Salt Spring Island. If you're lucky, you can get an hour and a half ferry ride if it does a direct sailing. Often it stops at the other southern Gulf Islands. What do we have here?
That's back bacon.
Wendy's cooking back bacon. For you vegetarians, sorry, this is from Hal's Saloon. You've seen the videos. That's back bacon. It's awesome stuff. He makes his own back bacon. Anyway, aloha to all of you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining in. Thank you, Jane from Hawaii. It was good to see you in there. Jonathan, Palm Tree Dude, Willie, all of you, man. Palms, everybody else out there. Thanks for joining in, and I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more YouTube videos. I'm going to end this stream right now. First Friday. It's Wendy being silly. First Friday of every month, I'm going to do a live stream on here. And then, of course, do you grow Sansevieria? No, but there's lots of it growing by our condo on Maui. Lots of Sansevieria. Snake bow, hemp plant, or mother-in-law's tongue. Best air cleaner for your house. Okay, guys, take care. And I'm signing off now, and we'll see you all next time. Cheers to you. See you, Larry. And everybody else out there. If I've missed anybody, I apologize. Stay tuned for more videos. Cheers to you.